Wait, what's going on? I asked, rushing home from work when my mom asked for help. There was a moving truck in front of the house. Whose stuff is that? I asked. It's my parents' stuff, my husband Jimmy replied calmly. Your parents' stuff? You decided to move them in without talking to me or my mom first. I was angry. And you kicked my mom out of the house. I won't forgive you for this. You'll regret being so selfish. I'm Meryl, 28 years old. I met my husband Jimmy at work, and we've been married for almost 2 years. We live with my mom, who was in an accident a few years ago and is now disabled. We decided to live together so I could take care of her. At first, Jimmy was understanding, but recently his selfishness has become unbearable. Jimmy, we need to take mom to the hospital this Saturday, I said again. Huh? He responded without looking at me. I haven't even finished saying anything, I said, surprised. I know, it's probably, take mom to the hospital, he interrupted. I don't want to waste my day off. It's not that. I want you to stay home and take care of the house while I take mom to the hospital, I explained. That's impossible, he insisted. Why not? I asked, getting frustrated. It's your job as a housewife to do that, not mine. Besides, it's my day off, he said, brushing me off. We both work, I reminded him. We promised to support each other when we got married, including our moms, but Jimmy hasn't kept his word. He gets moody, ignores me, and never helps out. Every day when he comes home, he doesn't make any meals and says hurtful things like, I'm hungry, is the food ready? Why don't you have your mom make it? She's just sitting around. I'd put up with this for a while, but I knew I needed to talk to him soon. One day, while making breakfast, my mom came out of her room looking uncomfortable and sweaty. What's wrong? I asked, rushing over to her. I'm just a bit hot, she said. Did you turn on the air conditioning? I asked. It's 82 degrees outside. She hesitated. Jimmy told me not to use it because it wastes electricity. Excuse me, Jimmy said. What? I demanded. He told you not to use the air conditioner when it's so hot? You could get sick. I stormed into our room to confront Jimmy. Jimmy, what were you thinking? I asked. Why are you upset now? He asked, annoyed. You told mom not to use the air conditioning. Why would you do that? I asked, getting angry. It's a waste of money, he said. We pay for the utilities, so it's unnecessary. Unnecessary? What if mom gets sick? I countered. Meryl, you're only thinking about your mom. What about me? What about my feelings? He snapped. I was shocked. I've been thinking about our future and our children. You never do, he said. You're always thinking about your mom. That's not even the issue. If your mom is so important to you, focus on her, I replied. Jimmy threw a cushion at me and stormed off to bed. I was so upset. I always keep the air conditioner on when I'm in the room, but I guess it's fine for me and not for anyone else. He was being selfish. The house doesn't have rent because my mom built it for us, and she pays the property tax and gives us money each month. Jimmy knows this. Why would he say such things? I don't need him to be grateful to my mom, but I wish he would consider her feelings. I sighed and soaked in the bathtub. A few days later, while I was at work, my phone rang. It was my mom. Why is she calling me now? I wondered. She never calls during work unless something's wrong. Mom, is everything okay? I asked, nervous. Help me, Meryl, she cried. What happened? I asked, feeling a panic rise in my chest. Jimmy brought his parents to the house and something terrible happened, she said. Wait, he brought his parents here? I asked, shocked. Then I heard Jimmy's voice over the phone, blaming my mom. Hey, wait a minute, I told you not to call Meryl, didn't I? Jimmy yelled at my mom. But Jimmy, this is really serious, my mom argued. Ugh, you're so annoying, just hang up the phone, you're making everything worse, he snapped. Wait, Jimmy, give me the phone back, my mom begged, but the call ended with a beep. I was confused. This definitely wasn't normal. I quickly talked to my boss and rushed home. When I got there, I was shocked. What's going on here? I asked, seeing the moving truck in front of our house with Jimmy giving instructions to the movers. I went up to him and demanded, Hey, whose stuff is that? Did you just get home from work? He asked, surprised. Forget that, just answer me, whose stuff is it? I pressed. It's my parents, they're struggling and I invited them to stay with us, he said, without even asking me first. But this is my mom's house too. You can't just make decisions like this on your own, I said, feeling betrayed and angry. My anger grew as he spoke casually about it. Wait, no, my mom and I didn't agree to this. You can't just do whatever you want, I yelled. If I told you beforehand, you would have said no, so I didn't say anything. Got a problem with that? He snapped. Are you serious? You want them to move in like they own the place? Tell them to leave, I demanded. What? We just got here, and you're already kicking them out? You're the worst, he shouted back. I'm the worst? Why should I take the blame for your parents acting like this? They're the ones being rude, I fired back. Then he said something completely outrageous. Hey, Meryl, think about it. My healthy parents are more reliable for the future, so we need to take care of them. What does that even mean? I asked, stunned. I mean we should put my parents first. They're more reliable than your mom, he said, explaining his ridiculous idea. Before we got married, he told me that his parents had a gambling problem. How could such unreliable people be trusted in the future? So from now on, we should prioritize my parents. So, please, ask your mom to leave, he repeated. Seeing my mom's sad face made my anger boil over. Enough, what are you even thinking? This is my mom's house, I shouted. He stubbornly shook his head. This isn't just your mom's house, it's also our house as husband and wife, don't you get it? I know my mom built this house and pays the property tax, I said, but now you're letting your parents live here and asking my mom to leave? How could you be so foolish? Huh, you think I'm foolish? You don't understand priorities. My parents are more important than your disabled mom with a short life, he sneered. What are you talking about? I yelled. How dare you say that? My mom stopped me before I could lash out. Meryl, calm down, she said. Mom, don't stop me, I begged. It's okay, let's just leave for now, she said, turning to Jimmy and his parents. Jimmy, if your parents really need help, they can stay, but they have to leave once they find work. That's the deal, right? Jimmy gave a fake smile. Yes, that's right. My dad got laid off, so we're struggling. All right, they can stay for a month, but make sure your dad gets a job in that time, got it? My mom said calmly. Thanks, Jimmy replied reluctantly. I was shocked by how easily he agreed. If we didn't do something, they'd take over our home. I whispered to my mom, feeling reassured by her calmness. It'll be okay, Meryl, trust me, but let's leave for now. I wasn't happy about it, but my mom owned the house, so I had no choice. I decided to go along with her and stay quiet. We moved into an apartment and started a new life together. Mom, are you sure about this? It seems too good to be true, I asked, still worried. It's fine, don't worry, and don't contact them. Wait for them to contact us, she said, sipping her tea, but don't worry, I've thought it through. Huh? What do you mean? I asked, confused. It's nothing, she said, but her tone made me feel uneasy. What came next was beyond what I expected. I was a bit scared of my mom now, but decided to follow her plan and wait for them to reach out. 2 months later, I got a call from Jimmy. Meryl, something terrible has happened. Something bad? It's been a while, what's going on? You sound upset, I responded calmly. It's not just something bad, we don't have electricity, water, or gas at home, please help us, he begged. I couldn't help but laugh a little. What do you mean, help you? You stopped paying for utilities, so it makes sense they're off, I explained. What, you stopped paying? Did you do that, Meryl? He asked, shocked. Yes, I did, I paid all the utilities. What's the problem? I asked, raising an eyebrow. Of course there's a problem, why would you do something so selfish? He snapped. Selfish? We waited a month like we promised, and then I stopped everything. You're still living there, right? And your parents still haven't found jobs, have they? I pointed out. He looked uncomfortable. Your parents aren't looking for work, they've been going to the casino every day, I said. What, are you serious? I give them allowances for their work, he replied angrily. Well, that allowance is gone, spent all of it at the casino, I smirked. Enough about my parents, fix the utilities, we can't live in this heat, he begged. My mom says don't use the air conditioner, it's a waste of electricity, you only care about yourself, as long as you're okay, it doesn't matter to you, I said. What did you say? How could you talk to your husband like that? He yelled. He refused to admit he was wrong and kept blaming me. I was fed up with his behavior. Ignoring his yelling on the phone, I finally said exactly what was on my mind. You stayed with me and my mother for 2 months, and now you act so superior. Your family only survived because of my mom during that time. What are you thinking about the future? This situation is only going to end badly, I said. Shut up, you really think you can say that? He snapped. Huh? You're going to keep making us suffer? Maybe I should consider divorce, he threatened angrily. Divorce? I asked, surprised. My husband laughed smugly. Yeah, I'm sure you don't want a divorce, right? If you don't want that, then fix the utilities so we can live on our own. What are you talking about? I asked, confused. I've already decided to divorce you, I said firmly. What? He gasped. Of course, I'm not going to stay married after everything you've put me through. It's better to get divorced than live like this. The utilities in that house won't be turned back on until you leave. If that's fine with you, then stay there, I said. Wait, don't ever contact me again, I added, ending the call before he could respond. I ignored him as he started sending me messages. Enough, it's so hot. I feel like I'm dying. Can you at least turn the water back on? I'm relying on you now, he begged in his texts. I didn't reply, and a week went by without utilities. My husband's family, who had made so much noise before, finally left our house. We got a divorce without any problems. My mom and I moved back to our home and things returned to normal. Meanwhile, my ex-in-laws are still struggling to find work and depend on their son's small income. It's not enough to live comfortably. Now, they live in a small apartment, just scraping by. They never showed any gratitude to others and always complained. That's why things turned out like this for them. Now, my mom and I just want to live quietly, without anyone bothering us.